We don't know what we're doing. We're just doing. Marianne, as president, I'll call you up to light the candles. Okay? Okay. Welcome, everybody. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Please turn off your cell phones. We're going to call God with our spirits. Let's look around at each other. Let's take a moment to see the beauty in each person that's around us, that's sitting next to us, that's looking at us, that wants to avoid us. And let's turn to your neighbor and say, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. And let us take in a deep breath out. And Heather and Jeremy will come up and help sing Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, page 128. Actually, you guys can just lead it and I'll stand over here. Woo. Preparation for April. Hine Ma Tov
U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Ma Tov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Ma Tov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Ma Tov Yadai Hine Ma Tov Yadai Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Ma Tov U'Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
Shabbat Shalom. So I would like to dedicate this evening's service to Sandy Teicher, who passed, and his wife Gail. Preparations are being made. The funeral will be on Tuesday at 10 a.m. But Sandy, actually, I think Sandy and Gail are founding members of Temple Emet. And it's always sad to see one of our family move on, but we're grateful to God for his peaceful passage. So if you'll please turn to Shalom Aleichem, we ask that the angels be with us on this Shabbat, but also be with Sandy on his journey to the next chapter of his spiritual life. So page 142. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon. Mi-melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Vo'achem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi-melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi-melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sechem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi-melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So as we begin this Shabbat and we think about our loved ones, I want to thank all of you. I know I want to thank the Sisterhood and all of those of you that are here tonight that participated in leading that service while 17 of us were on the cruise ship. And it was very interesting because we had Shabbat and it was all 17 of us plus 2. A mother and her daughter who happened to be Orthodox, who happened to live 5 minutes from my daughter in Teaneck, New Jersey. So actually when I was just there, I was going to see her, but I was too busy with Alyssa. But as I'm thinking about the angels watching over us and being with us on Shabbat, my granddaughter said, you know, Grandma, you're just going to stay home with me because you shouldn't walk to shul. It's not good for your feet. Mind you, it's a mile and a half away. So, oh, thank you, Ella. I'm so grateful that you have so much empathy for your grandma. So as we think about the things that matter to us as we go forward and we welcome in the Sabbath bride, we'll have Lecha Dodi, if you will turn back to page 138. And someone's parking, so they're going to walk in right when we turn around and face the door in verse 9. Lecha Dodi. Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabala. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabala. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabala. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabala. Verse 1. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmiyanu el harichan, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shem u'letiferet v'litehila la 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 hadoti, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabala. Verse 5. Hitoreri, kiva ora kumiori, uri shedaveri, kevod Adonai, like la 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 hadoti, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabala. Verse 9. B'wi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha v'zohala, toch emuneh am segula, v'ichala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabala. Penei Shabbat nekabala. Penei Shabbat nekabala. And I would now like to ask our president to set down her violin, which I said she should have brought on the ship, but she has the right to refresh and renew as well, and to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Thank you for being our president. And so we'll make 3 circles, bringing that order into the chaos of our world and the restfulness of renewal on Shabbat. And as we look at the light, we think of the light that is within us and the light that surrounds us and the light that we can manifest through being together and celebrating Shabbat. And the blessing is on page 120. That's fine. So we're just going to light each candle, and then we're going to make 3 circles, cover our eyes. Sometimes it's like that. We have to work at that light, keep it nurtured and kindled. I always tell the story, one cold Nidre night I had a problem. It was terrible. It's like, okay, I'm repenting for something here. It's usually the air conditioning. And so now we're going to make those 3 circles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Turn to your neighbor and say Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. That's graceful. That's fine. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So now we're going to turn to page 144 for the Hatzi Kaddish, which separates us from the Kabbalat Shabbat portion, our warm-up, our spiritual and physical vocal warm-up for the actual call to worship, the Baruch Hu. 144. Yikadav, Yikadav, Shavei Rabba, Ve'elmad Yivrach Yirotei V'yamlich Malchutei, V'chai Yechon V'yom V'chon V'chai Lechol V'Yisrael, V'agala, V'agala, V'zman Kari V'meru, Yehi Shemei Rabba Mevarach, Le'alam Lo Me'amaya, Yidbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yidpa'ar, V'yidramon, V'yidnaseh, V'yidhadar, V'yidaleh, V'yidhalal, Shemei Yechudashah, V'rechu Le'elam in Kol Berchata, V'shirata, Tishbechata, V'nechemata, Damiran Be'alma V'yimeru. Amen. Teach me, O God, a blessing of prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know and to hope and to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days, lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. Together, the bottom of page 145. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time. Even at unlikely times and through unlikely places, there is no place on earth without the presence. And the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Please be seated. We have our evening prayer, or Ma'ariv Arvim, on page 148. First, the English that many of us can relate to. There's a lot of change happening right now. Raise your hand if you feel like you're having some major life changes. Look around at your neighbors. Yes. These are actually good changes, because this year is a leap year. We just had leap year in the secular year yesterday. But in the Jewish calendar, this is a year where we have 2 months of Adar 1 and Adar 2. So there's really actually 2 Purims. There's a little Purim and then there's a big Purim. But this makes sure that our Hanukkah doesn't end up at the time of 4th of July. So it resets our calendar. So we know sometimes Hanukkah can come around Thanksgiving, sometimes it can come as late as Christmas, which is going to be at the end of this year. It resets everything so we can, start to get back on the rhythm in accordance with our moon, since we are a lunar people. But it is said, I had actually had a congregant call me today and said, "What is this I hear about it being a very lucky and fortuitous month?" And I said, well, it is, but Olive Purim is actually fortuitous and a happy thing, because we are meant to flip that switch from that which is horrible and sad and depressing to that which is happy and joyous. And so we actually get 2 months to do this with a Dar 1 and a Dar 2. So if you find yourself going through changes, and not the change, but changes, make sure that you embrace them for the gifts that they are, because they're little nuggets of miracles that are leading you towards something greater, like your actual destiny, much like Queen Esther. So our evening prayer, but first let us read at the bottom of page 149. This is an hour of change, and within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? And now the text. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bivaro ma'ariv ararim, v'chochma poteach she'arim, u'vitvuna meshane itim, u'machalif et hazmanim, ומסדר את הכוכבים, ומשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. ביום ולילה, כולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה. ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה. אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים. תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv Aravim. And now, Ahavat Olam on page 150. Would you like to sing it, Heather? She will come forward. Ahavat Olam. And now Heather will stay up there. We'll turn the page and go to the Shema. If you'd like to stand for the Shema, please do. Or if you'd like to be seated, however you connect to the divine within you and around you. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. So even though we did Shabbat on the cruise I watched, I was so impressed with all of you. Who knew? I was like, Joy, you're a Hebrew master. You've been hiding that from us for a very long time. Of course, we should know because her cousin's Deborah Friedman. So now we have the Vehafta. If you'll turn to page 154. And we're meant to share this love for Adonai and spirituality and pass it down to our children. So my daughter broke her foot, so I was there helping, and I would go back and forth to the Jewish day school. And what Ella yesterday said, well, I left on Thursday, yesterday said, oh, this is the best day ever. Grandma took me to school, drove Mama to come visit me, and picked me up again, took me to the candy store. And I said, but your school is the best part of the whole day. It's the most amazing Jewish day school. And she just runs in with great joy and happiness and just is really learning so much. And we went on a field trip to the Jewish bakery. And we got to go in the back and see how they prepare all these things. So that love that we have in ourselves that I know many of you have passed on to your children and your grandchildren, and now some of you have great children, grandchildren coming forward. It's really a wonderful thing. And some of us have pets that we pass that love down to, like Connie. You know, she just loves her Jewish music. And some of us have dogs and cats that just love it. So it is a spiritual thing that we are meant to experience. And let's read it at the top of page 155 in the English. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you're rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Let them be in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקניך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, Emet. And now, on the top of 157 before the Milchamocha, together standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place and a promised land, and that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Milchamocha, you may dance around if you so choose, or can sing if you'd like. Milchamocha. We have some dancers in the room, even our amazing Mark Reichert, who will have his second bar mitzvah at the end of the month, who will be 90. Oh, Mark, we should all just have the energy that you have. So, Vishamru, page 162. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable, without moments gone by. Together on 163, the Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever, and what happened once upon a time happens all the time. Finkelstein. Are you ready? Vishamru v'nei Yisrael el hashavat la'asot et hashavat ledorotam berito olam. Everybody, come on! Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et hashavat la'asot et hashavat ledorotam berito olam. V'nei v'nei Yisrael, v'nei v'nei Yisrael, Oti le'olam, Oti le'olam. V'shameru v'nei Yisrael et hashavat la'asot et hashavat olam. Ki sheshet yamim, ki sheshet yamim, asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz v'shameru b'nei Yisrael et hashavat la'asot et hashavat ledorotam berit olam. Vayom hashvi Shabbat leinafash v'shameru b'nei Yisrael et hashavat la'asot et hashavat ledorotam berit olam. Please rise and turn to page 164 for the Amidah, which continues on the next few pages. And hard to believe, we will be doing the insert for winter, but not for much longer. When do we switch to summer? Hard to believe, it's a month and a half away. Not even, maybe, I don't know. All right, so let us begin with a little nagoon. Ha-na-na-na-na-na-na Adonai, ha-na-na-na-na-na Sfatai Tifta, ha-na-na-na-na-na Ufi Yagid Tehilateha, ha-na-na-na-na-na-na Adonai, ha-na-na-na-na-na Sfatai Tifta, ha-na-na-na-na-na Ufi Yagid Tehilateha, ha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, ha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, ha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, ha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, ha-na-na-na-na-na-na Adonai, ha-na-na-na-na-na Sfatai Tiftach, ha-na-na-na-na-na Ufi Yagid Tehilateha, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilateha, Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, Bezacher Hastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Gilal Livnei B'neihem, Laman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Abraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Metim Atah, Rav LaHoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechaye HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim B'Rofei Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato, L'Shenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Giborot, U'Midom Elah, Melech Memi, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hametim. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Kadoshim b'chol yom, Yahalelucha Selah, Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. Shabbat Shalom. Well, this is a very, very famous Torah portion, Ki Tisa. And in it, many of you might know it. What happens? Does anyone know? Moses gets all frustrated. He goes up the mountain and then comes down to find what? Yes, they are worshiping that golden calf. And he smashes, some say he smashes the tablets. Some say they slipped from his hands in utter dismay and shock. But yes, these things happen. Now it's interesting, because the Parsha, Ki Tisa, actually means when you elevate. So what does it actually mean to elevate? The dictionary states to raise or lift something up to a higher position. Our portion starts with God instructing Moses to collect money, half a shekel, from the Israelites as a donation. They then learn the importance of upholding the sacred Mishkan, the tabernacle, its vessels, and the priests. The idea of the importance of donating to keep shuls afloat and everything running smoothly can actually find some of its roots in this parsha. In so doing, what happens? We donate, sometimes we think about it. Do we really want to give this much? I don't know. Maybe we should give more. I don't know. Maybe we just give freely. Maybe we're like, oh, I don't know. Or maybe it's the end of the year distribution and we're just happy to share it with our synagogue. But whatever the reason, when we make that donation, it is elevating us. Because we are following God's command to donate. But also, we are meant to give freely with a pure heart, which then elevates us and everybody else. So it's not surprising that the Mishkan itself, along with its vessels and its priests, are anointed in this parsha. Not very many rabbis anymore, unless you're a chassid or whatever, are actually anointed. But if you go in my office, Bob Feldman made a wonderful picture of myself actually being anointed when I got my smicha and became a rabbi officially. But anyway, so in this parsha, this is what happens. We are elevated. The people elevate the entire process by giving freely of their hearts and their souls. So the devotion and the donation elevates by ensuring the maintenance and the legacy. Now, what is interesting is that a parsha that begins with the idea, actually in the name Ki Tisa, of elevating and lifting up, we would then find what? The Israelites at an all-time low, in one of their worst moments in the entire journey. Moses goes up to get those commandments, as we said. He comes down, and what does he see? Instead of the Israelites having patience, what happened? They lost faith. Much of what they brought that actually could have been used for the upkeep of the tabernacle was then misappropriated. What did they do? They melted it down. They made a golden calf to worship. The idea of praying to an unseen entity seemed futile in a time when people worshipped idols. And that was all they had ever known for hundreds of years. They longed for something more concrete. It was just too much. And then what happens? Chaos. Chaos ensues. So Moses returns, he sees this, gets upset, smashes those tablets. Imagine how you feel. Even as a parent, you give, and suddenly what? It just is never enough. So after some reckoning, he then goes back up to the mountain to Avinu Malkeinu, our ultimate parent, and begs God to forgive the indiscretion, to look at it as just a momentary lapse of faith and madness, trying to regain God's trust in order to elevate them all beyond their disorder and their disgrace. He pleads and he pleads with God. And then what happens? He returns with a second set. The Haftarah portion, there's the Torah and the Haftarah. The Haftarah are, it's not half Torah, even though some people think that. It's actually at a time when we couldn't actually study the Torah. We had the Haftarah, so we studied the prophets, and each one aligns itself with a Torah portion. So the Haftarah for this portion, which aligns with Ki Tisa, tells a story about something that happened during the time of Elijah the prophet. At the time, the people, once again, it's a cycle that happens around and around and around. The people had kind of fallen off the wagon. They were straying from the spiritual. Some dabbled a little bit in faith, but actually most of them lapsed into worship of other prophets, promoting other gods, and then they'd kind of go back and forth. And soon, it was only Elijah who was purely on the path. There were over 400 prophets, and at the time they were championing the god Baal. So Elijah proposed a test, suggesting that each bring a sacrifice to the mountain Carmel by Haifa, over there by Haifa where Sasha is, Marianne, and to see where the sacrifice is accepted and how. Whose sacrifice? All of them or Elijah's? The prophets of Baal, they bring their sacrifices, they start yelling out to their God. Nothing happens. So Elijah starts chiding them. Well, maybe he's asleep. Yell a little bit louder. Oh, but what happens? Nothing. Then Elijah turns to our Creator and says, now is the time for you to prove to the world that either the majority, all these hundreds of prophets, and all of the people following them are right, or is it just me who is right? It is said that fire comes down from the heavens, a miracle happens, and not only is the sacrifice from Elijah burnt up, but all the water that was there with it was burnt up as well. There are many lessons in the story, but Kabbalist Michael Berg makes this point. The statement Elijah makes is that this has got to stop. Choose one side or the other. Be 100% with the idols or 100% with the Creator. Do not be in the middle, and don't go back and forth. He's basically telling them it is better for them to leave the spiritual path, and this is shocking, altogether, than to stay somewhere in the middle, doing a little bit of this, a little bit of spiritual work, and then going back to their lives filled with their selfish desires. And so then he says it is an important concept because most of us are not clear about this. We think it's okay to do our spiritual work, but then also to do all other kinds of things. But what Elijah says is that we should not naturally assume anything. One could say, if they're still doing a little bit of spiritual work, why discourage them? Isn't that good? They're spiritual. Isn't that better to be doing a little bit than nothing at all? But from the statement that Elijah makes, we learn that the answer is no. Shockingly, if a person is going to be selfish and go that route, they should go all the way and not lie to themselves by being a little bit spiritual while they are still allowing themselves to live in the desire to receive for themselves alone. And as such, Elijah says to them, choose a side. You've seen the miracle. You've seen the Creator in action. Choose a side. So yes, we are inspired to do the spiritual work, but also at times we're going to fall. And when we fall, we have to choose. We have to look at it, and we have to choose to do otherwise. Going back and forth will never bring us where we're meant to be. A true connection to the Creator and the divine within us, that's how we get out of alignment with the light and the blessings that actually come from the connection that we have with the divine. So our lesson here, we need to commit. We need to commit, and we need to stay resolute no matter how bad things are. And in these days, and in the time that we're living in, it can actually be quite challenging. This Shabbat, we find ourselves at the beginning of our Torah portion watching the dissolution of all faith. and sacrifice. The sacrifice that the Israelites had made melded away into the golden calf. They vacillated and they lost faith. Just like in Elijah's time, false gods were gaining ground, and the one true God manifested yet another miracle, just as in the time of Moses, a miracle to set us straight. In order to elevate, we must have faith and remain pure in our devotion and our intent. Temptation is everywhere. Do you ever feel tempted? The ability to believe when trapped in a state of loss, trapped in despair, trapped in confusion, doubt, or pain is challenging. But that is when it is most important, because true elevation comes from sacrifice, hard work, and belief. Believing in oneself, not false gods, and in the unseen divine within to guide, uplift, and elevate us. That is the key to unlocking providence and promise. As we go through this Shabbat, let us think about the ways in which we have actually, in our lives, been elevated, been lifted up, and the times when we might have fallen stray from the course. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to be thinking about golden calves or idols, and it doesn't have to necessarily be that. It can be a vice that we use to pacify ourselves, to satisfy ourselves, that keeps us from being our best selves. And those vices never really fill us up, do they? And they certainly don't lift us up. Let us be grateful to our God who has the power to uplift us when feeling most down, who is always with us, even when we are filled with doubt, even when we're losing patience. Let us remember that our spiritual path isn't going to be always in a straight line. We are meant to wander. That's what our ancestors did. They wandered until they could merit the promise. That's what we're doing, wandering. We're meant to wander and walk it, pushing ever forward, kadima, all in, not with one foot in, one foot out, not vacillating. A good relationship, a blessed one, is where both sides commit. God has done that with us, even at times when feeling it not. So too must we. Let us keep the faith when feeling it not. Let us remain resolute when feeling filled with doubt. Let us commit and give with full hearts, whether we are commanded or not. And let us elevate ourselves just a little bit closer to God by expanding our holiness at a time when the world can seem so dark and many turn against us. Let us elevate. Let us lift ourselves and each other and our world up. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Shabbat Shalom. So now we are going to move to the Misha Barak. Stacy, would you like to come up and sing it with Heather? Jeremy did a great job on the cruise singing it. And if you will think in your hearts and souls, turn to page 371 of your loved ones that are in need of spiritual or physical healing. Our hearts go out to everyone here in this room. I know many of you are struggling with your health, also those in our community and those around the world. Special refuah shlema for Sandy Horowitz, for Russell Allen, for many others in our community, my daughter, may her foot heal, but each and every one of you, I know there are those of you here, and also the miracles. So this congregant who called me about Adar and the miracles said, I don't want to be jaded, but is it possible something happened that seemed very improbable? A medical problem that he was dealing with was in the thousands, and suddenly he had a test and it was in the hundreds. And it needed to be in the hundreds to not have surgery. And he said, is this because of Adar? Is it possible it's a miracle? Is it possible it's the power of prayer? And I said, you might want to call Diana Wolf, because she says, you know, she and Tony are like cats that get multiple lives. And she said, I tried to die 3 times, but I'm here, what did you say to me? Because of the power of prayer. and faith and belief. And we're thrilled that she's here, our immediate past president. So know that when we say these prayers, they're not empty things. They're not just songs. We are manifesting energy that radiates and heals not only our loved ones, ourselves, but our world as well. Misha Barra, page 371. Yasher Koach, may those that we love find healing, and even those that we don't know who are in need of a refuah shlema. Aren't we blessed to have so much talent in our community? Thank you for sharing your gifts with us, all of you, our wonderful musicians and all of you as well. So now we are going to move to the Leinu. If you will turn to 586 at the bottom. And we're going to do the bottom page, and then we're going to turn the page to the top of 588, and then continue on page 591. And let us read first on the bottom of page 586. Let us now praise the sovereign of the universe and proclaim the greatness of the Creator, who has set us apart from the other families of the earth, giving us a destiny unique among the nations. We bend the knee and bow, acknowledging the supreme sovereign, the Holy One of blessing. And so when you get to that indented portion, if you're able to stand, that is when you bow. Please rise if you're able as the ark is open. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, lateit gidula le'yotzer b'reishit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, ve'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, ve'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lefnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu notei shamayim ve'yosed haaretz, u'moshev yekaro b'shamayim mima'al, v'shechinah uzo, v'gov hei meromim, Hu Eloheinu enod, Emet Malkeinu efes ulato, Kakahatu v'torato, v'datahayom, v'yadatahayom, v'hashevota el levavecha, Ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, b'shamayim mima'al, ve'al haaretz, mitachat enod, enod, enod. למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Please be seated. And so now we're going to turn to page 598 for our Kaddish. And for those who might not know, you don't say Kaddish for someone until they're actually buried. And so we will do it for Sandy after Tuesday. Of course, we'll do it at this service on Tuesday. But if you'll look to page 598, if you please rise, if you've lost someone in the last week, would you rise and say their name? Oh, sorry to hear. The last 30 days, the Shloshim period. Richard? And the last 11 months. And if you're standing, raise your hand if you have someone. Okay. Judy? Anybody else over here? Okay. Deborah? Marianne? Amy. Anybody else? And if you're observing the anniversary of a loved one's passing, a yard site, Diana?
My mother built a record, and my grandfather built people.
Sunny? Judy? Anybody else? Together, we ask that they be blessed on high. Oh, Stacy, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
And I know.
Yeah, her husband John, yeah.
Yes.
And my mom said at the end of the month, my sister Patty.
Now, everyone has had an opportunity. Okay, and at home, I hope you've said your names. Everyone, please rise if you're able to for the Kaddish. May their souls be blessed on high, and may you be blessed, all of you, for saying their names and honoring them at this time. Yid Gadol, V'yid Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, 598. Be'alma divra chiruteh ve'amlich machuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayeh l'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman karib v'mru. Yeheh Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'l'olmei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal, Shemei l'kudashah v'richu. Le'ela minko birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran ve'alama v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May God, who is the author of all seen and unseen, grant eternal rest and perfect peace to our loved ones and those who are grieving and mourning at this time. I was lost for a moment. I want you all to turn around if you're able to and look out the window. Look at the Magen David, the Jewish star. But you see that cloud? And as we were saying the Kaddish, the cloud was not there. It was just a little tiny cloud. And as we were saying, it was moving in closer and closer and closer. And I was looking at it going, oh my gosh, it's almost like enveloping. It's like that in Parsha Bo, that Shiva of darkness. And so our loved ones, they're enveloped in that heavenly realm up there, and we ask that they be given safe passage, continually being elevated with our memories, our love, and our honoring of them. Please be seated. This is why I wanted that window up there. All right, so our president's going to come forward, and she's going to say a few things about what we have coming up.
Is it on? Oh, terrific, terrific, terrific. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome everybody here. Welcome live stream. Thank you again, Mark Tannen and Brian, for providing that for us. I forgot my announcements. They are at home by the door. So I'm going to need Marcia and Rabbi to complete me, as they always do, with these announcements. Just step in. I'll do as much as I can, because there's a lot coming up.
Just tell everyone to watch their email and read that.
And watch your email. But first, these lovely, beautiful flowers, sponsored by Bob and Joy Feldman in honor of their 48th wedding anniversary.
Woohoo!
That is very, very special. All right, so also thank you. We have the Torrance Police Department out there with their canine officer, Max. They have a canine out there tonight. So it's,
I think Max is Jewish, actually.
I believe that was my dad's name, Muttel, Max.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
I'm very pleased to have them out there, and we have a wonderful crowd, and they're protecting us. Thank you very much. Rabbi, you were reading my mind once again when you did your sermon, word for word. You always read my mind.
It's Hashem.
Yes,
It's
it's
just
a dangerous sermon, just one side or the other. So, our musicians, we were hot tonight.
Yes, you
So,
really
Dan Spector, the most wonderful Dan Spector, Stacy, Amy, myself. Hilda's at a concert. We miss her, but she'll be back soon. So thank you. It was a lot of fun tonight. Jeremy and Heather, thank you for everything you do, your tenacity. It's just a joy to see, and your energy, and I'm going to go forward with you. Thank you so much. Then we have our Zoom classes. We have Roger's meditation class on Mondays. Rabbi and Mark Tannen are going to put together their educational classes as soon as they can. There's a lot going on. We had a wonderful class with Dan Spector on Wednesday about the sound of music and Mary Poppins. We're in the 1970s now with our movies, so the last Wednesday, look for Dan's Zoom link for his music appreciation class. Okay, so that gets us to all the fun stuff. March 2nd, tomorrow night, there's going to be a movie here. It's The Astronaut.
Yes.
Or Astronaut, something 7 o'clock. The Spaceman.
Well, he looks like an astronaut.
I
to
knew
me
it
in
had
the
something to
picture.
do with
Spaceman.
outer space.
Adam
Okay.
Sandler, right? I don't know, but there's going to be movie-style boxes of candy. We have our fresh popcorn maker that the Rabbi's Discretionary Fund bought for us, and Jeremy has become an expert at making that popcorn. There will be libations for those who would like to libate and those who would like to be non-libation free but still partake of a beverage.
And
It's
everyone-
all going to be there.
Everyone had a lot of fun at the last one when they saw Maestro.
And you
They're
don't have
still
to pay
talking
anything,
about
you
it.
just have to show up.
Yeah, so 7 o'clock, please come tomorrow night. Then I believe March 9th, we're having our Purim party.
Yes.
7 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
I
And there's
don't
going to be a
know. No,
catered-
it's early.
Earlier than that, maybe
5.
5 o'clock.
It's at 5.
5 o'clock. It's going to be a catered dinner, and we're going to make Purim masks. I believe Judy is going to help with that. She's an artist, so it's going to be real special, March 9th, next
And you're
week.
supposed to save your mask if you'd like for our gala in June because it will be, sort of a Mardi Gras theme, even though it's in June.
That's right. Then March 15th, I believe we do not have a service. Is that correct?
No.
There's no service March 15th because we are preparing for Mark Reichard's bar mitzvah, which is March 30th. It's going to be a very special day. But before that, I believe Stacy on March 23rd will have her Havdalah service
Yes.
in the evening. And what about Lunch Bunch? When's the
Lunch Bunch, watch your email, it'll be coming up, and the Culinary Club will have a dinner planned, and we're all busy.
Yeah, so please watch your emails. I believe that brings us through March, and like I said, March 30th, it's a big, big day. We have a lot of things coming up in April, most important, the Seder, April 22nd. So Deborah's she's already planning a beautiful Seder. I already can feel how beautiful it's gonna be. So April 22nd, we're gonna have a first night Seder here at Temple Emet. And there's a lot of more things coming up, culminating in a gala, June 8th. And I know you're anxious to have your dinner at Szechuan Chinese, so Shabbat Shalom, be well till we meet again. And thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, excellent job. So you don't need to have it written down, it's all in your heart. So.
You and Marcia.
Yeah, you got it going on. I don't know, that some people say, what? Why? I've mentioned this before, why are you guys going out to dinner? We have 25 people coming to dinner. It's wonderful to be able to share Shabbat. If you want to come, that's fine. If you don't want to come, that's fine too. But the dinner that we have out on the first Friday and the dinner that we eat here normally on the third Friday, which is not going to be happening for a couple of months, just watch your emails because the opportunity to share together and pray together and play together is all, it's what it's all about. We have a community and a family. Yes, Diana.
I am going to be taking care
So those of you that can't, maybe hear or on the live stream, Diana Wolf is doing the seating arrangements, so please be sure to tell her. We have a great time at the Seder. It is a kosher Seder by Balabusta, and don't tell Diana at the last minute. I know a lot of people get frustrated when they have to redo the seating chart. Many of you who have had a wedding might know that. So please get your reservations in when the email goes out. Deborah's already given me my marching orders of what I'm supposed to do, so hard to believe we're in the throes of it all. Pay attention to your emails because some of the services are moving around a little bit. We are, in March, there are some Jewish events that you can go to. Marcia, look at and see what the programs are. Are there any spots left for your events? Okay, so pay attention. And even if if you can't go with our group, but you still want to go, there are 2 Jewish events that are happening this month. And you have the comedian and you have the play at the Braid. So if you need more information, contact Marcia or send us an email and we will let you know so that you can be thoroughly enriched in your Jewish experiences for the month, both culturally, socially, and worship-wise. Please come to Havdalah. Stacy works really hard on that when she does it. So, show up. You might like that separation between the sacred and the profane. And I think she's delving into Purim as well. So, what is going to be our closing song? But before you do that, Bob and Joy, would you like to just stand up right where you are, and we're going to bless you? So, there are 48 years of wedded bliss. I want everyone to turn around and look at that. They know how to get marriage right. So they're a wonderful couple, and we love you, and we're so grateful for you, and we ask that the divine will bestow you with many more years of wedded bliss. So Siman Tov, Mazel Tov to you as well. We're going to sing that. Anybody else have an anniversary in the month of January or February or March? Stand on up. Stand on up. You did, we did, your team. And these 2 know how marriage works. It's very interesting that both of you, if I may say, are second marriages. And they say it's better sometimes the second time around. You never know. So may you be blessed and have many more years. 46. Okay, so 2 more years recommitment ceremony for you. We already did. We're going to do you guys another recommitment ceremony. Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Yehelanu. Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Yehelanu. Mazel Tov. Please be seated. Anybody with a birthday that didn't get blessed January, February, or March? Amy, Deborah, Marcia. Anybody else in this room? Dan. Woo! All right. May you all be blessed with good health and abundance and happiness. May the divine bestow so many gifts upon you for your devotion to the community and to all the things that you give and that you are, all of you. Let us sing to them. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet, Ellen Huledet Sameach. Mark, you're having a bar mitzvah, and Ellen, what? Come on. We celebrated your birthday on the boat. What's up with that? Sandra, I know. Come on. One more time. It's like a rerun in the Torah. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. Happy birthday to you. Yom Huledet Sameach, happy birthday. All right, what are we singing as a closing song? Okay. Ose Shalom. Oh, say shalom in Ramah, say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu V'Yalko Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom. Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu V'Yalko Yisrael. And as you are all going to stand up and elevate yourselves, rise, elevate yourselves, and then we're going to elevate each other with the Birkat Kohanim. And then we're going to walk, because we're now elevated over to do Kiddush and Motzi. Are we ready? Put your arms around each other. May God bless you and keep you. May God's countenance shine upon you and be with you always and grant you peace. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Can you hear us? May it be God's will. Shabbat shalom. And as we go back for Kiddush and Motzi, let us sing Bim Bam. Dan, you can actually lead us in Motzi and Kiddush. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Everybody, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, everybody.